Welcome to my podcast. My name is Melissa. This is Crowgazer Paranormal, and we're going to be talking about the Wellington train wreck. So let's go ahead and start into this. The Wellington train wreck disaster, American's deadly avalanche, occurred in Wellington, Washington on March 1st, 1910. Two Great Northern Railroad trains carrying passengers and mail were trapped in the Cascade Mountains by severe blizzards and massive avalanches stuck in the trains, pulling them into the Ty River Gorge and killing 96 people. The disaster. In late February 1910, several storms with snow and relentless winds halted westbound passenger trains. Spokane Local Number 25, a trail of mail train. Fast Mail Number 27 near the Great Northern Railroad station in Wellington trapped nearly a week while crews battled deep drifts with broken down equipment and trains sat along the unprotected mountainside. Near the western portal of the original Cascade Tunnel, on the right of February 28th, a powerful thunderstorm battled the mountains with rain and lightning and destabilizing a heavily loaded snowpack. In early morning hours, March 1st, around 4:20 a.m., massive avalanche, estimated at half a mile long, 150 feet wide, broke loose. It swept the trains and departed parts of the railroad out buildings and 150 feet down into the Ty River Valley. The disaster claimed the lives of 96 people, including 35 passengers and 61 railroad employees, and 23 people survived the devastating fall. The sheer volume of the snow downloaded telegraph lines in community. The sheer volume of snow downed telegraph lines and counting several weather severe hemisphere rescue operations. It took days to recover and the victims. To navigate publicly claimed fear and travels again, the Northern Railroad quietly remained Wellington Ty later that year. Round ultimately abounded in 1929 following the route ultimately abandoned in 1929 following the construction of the Cascade Tunnel. Today, the site in Wellington disaster is preserved as a historical hiking area location on hour-and-a-half drive west of Washington, just off the route near Stevens Pass. The original railroad grade is new and a part of the Iron Goat Trail, where hikers can see the ghostly concrete remains and the snow shed interpretive signs in 1910 tragedy of the Ty River Gorge where the trains plummeted. You would like to know more about this Goat Trail, how to access the historical train wreck today, just go look it up, you guys. A humble secret bleeds down windy mountains from the remains of what once was the town Ty. The former railroad's new town sits abandoned and named merely a mask of tragedy is struck in the dead of winter in 1910. Two trains owned by the Great Northern Railroads were westbound in Seattle, where they came to screeching halt in the valley of Wellington, a small rail village located in the best windy mountains. Passengers and railroads employees were left stuck inside their cars for a week. Increased snowfall and avalanches further drowned them until 4:20 a.m. on March 1st, when the deadline's nature disaster hit. Washington State occurred, and Wellington train disaster had been currently yet, and visitors would say spirits of those unfortunate victims still taking a detour here. There are ghosts there, you guys. There's ghosts, there's remains, all that stuff, everything. So you can go here, and I'm going to go there soon and do a whole podcast over there with it. I'm going to be doing everything else with this situation where I can go over there and show you guys everything, all that stuff, all whatever it goes on in that whole area. There's remains, all that stuff, everything. I know that these two railroads sat there. I mean, yes, the two railroads sat there, the two trains sat there. There was so many people on the train waiting for everyone to pass with the snowstorm. It ended up getting worse and worse more in the minute and everything else. More chilling stories awaken United Seattle Space Needle, a past field and violence greed the ancient burial grounds, made it impossible for spirits to rest and venture into the night in Seattle terrors and Seattle's most haunted locations. So you guys, I'll be going to Seattle locations. I will be going to Washington State locations, Idaho, and further out. You guys watch this. You guys are going to be so amazed about everything. It's just going to be so much fun. Is the abandoned town haunted? Of the Thai haunted? Ghost investigators ranked Thai as one of the most top haunted locations in Washington. The Cascade Tunnel along the Iron Goat Trail stands an eerie reminder of exactly what was and is dating back in the deadliest natural disaster hit Washington State ever. You guys are going to be so happy that we're going here. Men, women, children were trapped in the train wreck, communicating in the village and shut off. And one day, the incident when outside help finally came. The recent reports of EVP phenomenon and sightings in abandoned villages, history of the Wellington train disaster. And other than this, it was February 23rd, 1910 that two current Northern Railroads trains were stalled in tracks at the Cascade Tunnels stated Stevens Pass near the village in Wellington. Seattle Express local passengers and 25 mail first train. So you guys, this place is haunted. This place has a lot of history. You can see the train wreck. You can see all that stuff. Everything's still going on with this situation over there. And I will be taking you guys there because I don't live that far, like a couple hours away from there, everything else. They were headed to Puget Sound when the relentless snowfall and avalanche blocked their path. Railroad workers worked tirelessly in clear tracks, and their efforts were in vain. Everyone had no choice but to wait this out. So they were waiting out the storm, everything else, all that stuff, and no one knew what to do. And then all of a sudden a big avalanche came and destroyed this place. So snow counted to accumulate the blackout in the train's window and sound here outside, and howling winter winds until the last day of February. Booming thunder, lightning threatening stable snowfield mountains. Sometime after the midnight of March 1st, the Charles Andrews Great Northern employee had been told about what was going on because they heard really crazy noises going on, and the blood-curdling noises waking towards the Wellington bunkhouse. He turned to see the disaster White Death moving down the mountains. So the avalanche was coming down and he didn't know what to do. So he tried to warn everybody. 96 people passed away in this train wreck, and weeks went by before they could even get it done or anything like that. So this is what happened during that time. The Great Northern Railroad Company spent 3 weeks repairing the tracks before Stevens Pass operating again, and also needed to be made back to the way things happened. They moved this place. They put where it was before, and they moved where they put a shed over this. So you guys will see the shed soon. I'm going to be putting pictures in here. The cause of the accident was determined beyond human control. However, 3 points of the circumstances were made, and insufficiently of coil and labor low wages and decisions to place the train in unsafe locations. So it should be also mentioned that it was clear cutting the timber, all that stuff and everything. So it just goes into showing what the tunnel looks like, all that stuff. This was Crowgazer Paranormal. Thank you for joining my YouTube, and watch me on TikTok. Find me over there. You guys, thank you for listening to this. That's all I had to say about this. And thank you for joining my podcast. I am so grateful for all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we'll see you again. So this was like a brief thing on this train wreck. I'll be showing more videos, all that stuff. I will be telling about the rest of what's going on here. And woman has been humbling a tune, and she attended to choir more expected sounds too. So there was like women, children, all that stuff in there that were on this train. They do EVP sessions, they do spirit sessions, they do REM pods, they have recorded devices, they will listen to them, all that stuff. So you guys will be doing this with me as I go there. I know it just said I was going to go, but I'm going to read a little bit more and then I'll go after that. There have also been claims of seeing ghosts and unfortunate avalanche victims walking through Wellington will witness. So those of you that were interested in doing the Wellington stuff, I had to stop my video and now I put this video in there. We're going to be going there. That's what's going to be happening. So join me on my next podcast. We'll be doing that. We're talking about more. My phone's having some issues. My camera's having issues. So you know how that goes with me. So join me on my next podcast. We'll be talking more about Wellington. I'll probably do a little bit more recap on this. Thank you for joining my podcast. Thank you for joining my TikTok. Thank you for joining everything. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me over on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. I'm going to be doing 2 posts here every Sunday. Thank you, thank you, thank you guys. I appreciate you. So Wellington is the next location that I'm going to, and we'll be talking a lot more on the next podcast. I want to thank you all for joining my podcast. This is Crowgazer Paranormal, and thank you so much for joining in and listening and just doing what you do. I love you, community. I love you, friends. I love you, everybody. So continue looking out for new posts every Sunday. Thank you guys for joining, and thank you for just being there in community. I love you. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you again. Thank you so much for everything, and I'm very grateful. This was my YouTube. This is Crowgazer Paranormal, and this is Melissa Snow, and I am done for now. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you again. Thank you. Bye. There are ghosts that go around this place, everything else. So you guys will see. I'll talk about the witnesses, all that stuff, everything. You guys will see everything that's going on. But this is Crowgazer Paranormal. Thank you for joining my podcast, and we'll see you again. Thank you.